Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Today the United Nations General Assembly voted on the Ukraine war, and they voted to condemn the war and to ask for an immediate withdrawal of the Russian forces to the internationally recognized borders prior to 2022 February. I don't know if they said anything about Crimea yet, but I have two articles here, one coming from The Hill and the other one coming from Ukrainska Pravda. So let's start with the one from The Hill. Now this is a General Assembly, so all 193 countries voted. And let's see what the results were and what does this mean. So the article comes from The Hill and the title is "These 6 countries sided with Russia in United Nations vote on Ukraine." Yes, and some 20 some I think, or 30 some abstained. So this comes from February 23, 2023. The United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly approved a resolution on Thursday to call for peace in Ukraine in a vote that marked the anniversary of a full-scale Russian invasion. But the vote was not unanimous. Oh, that's a problem here, huh? So some countries might have a different opinion. Is that allowed, or they're gonna be nuked by the good people? I don't know, we'll find out, right? The resolution, which called for Russia to withdraw its forces from Ukraine and for peace to be restored to the region, passed with 141 countries voting in favor, 6 countries joining Russia in voting against, and 32 countries abstained. So I have here the 6 countries who voted against the resolution were Belarus, North Korea, Syria, Eritrea, Mali, and Nicaragua. Well, it's very interesting. We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's surprising that Iran did not do that. And where is Russia? It doesn't vote or something. Oh, that number is an increase from the 4 that voted along with Russia against an October resolution denouncing Russia's annexation of 4 occupied regions of Ukraine. Belarus, North Korea, Syria, and Nicaragua voted against the resolution, while Mali and Eritrea were among the abstainers. You see this Nicaragua? Nicaragua could have Russian nuclear weapons on its territory. That could be a second Cuba. Now, on the resolution last March calling on Russia to immediately, completely, and unconditionally withdraw from Ukraine, Nicaragua and Mali abstained from the vote, while Eritrea joined. Okay. The resolution, this is the important thing here for the Russians, at least, and not only, the resolutions do not have force in international law. So they have no force. They can't be enforced, nothing. It's just there. But represent a global rebuke of Russian invasion. Well, remember this word that you used here? Where is it? Right here. But the vote was not unanimous. So, okay. And if we go by this, there were what? 32, right? Plus 7. I'm putting with the Russia in the 6. Right? So about 40, right? 41 from 193 countries, correct? If you take like this, so there were 141 approving this. So that means that's what, 17-18%, kind of like the support the Prime Minister of Japan has of 22% or something. Anyway, so the resolutions do not have force in international law, but represent a global rebuke of Russia's invasion. Binding enforcement actions are up to the United Nations Security Council. So that's where, actions could have force, where Russia has unilateral veto power as a permanent member of the Council. So that is here where it's probably gonna end. Remember, this kind of resolutions condemning all kind of other things take place all the time. I'm not trying to defend these guys, but remember, United States of America has a condemning resolution on it with the embargo it has still on Cuba, and it's usually about 188, like 2 or 3 countries that that vote against it. Now that's a rebuke, but anything happened with that one? No. That's also, a lot of resolutions on other countries in the Middle East who are occupying certain territories. The same, whenever it's about to be voted in the Security Council, it's vetoed by the United States of America. So it's not something really that matters, a symbolic thing anyway. I mean, if this is important, then the other ones are also important. So important to notice right here. The 32 countries that abstained from the resolution on Thursday include China, India, Pakistan, and South Africa. So these two here have what, 3 billion people, or give and take. Pakistan, nuclear weapon, South Africa. So these abstained, so that means they did not approve, did not support that resolution. That's what that means. The war will reach its first anniversary, blah, 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 blah. Now let's see what the Ukrainians are saying. UN approves Ukraine peace formula, harmful amendments shut down. So they're happy about it, and they don't tell us here anything else compared with the other article. The only thing is that they say, it says here, on Thursday, an emergency session of the General Assembly 141 UN voted in favor. Another 39 abstained from voting, and 7 countries opposed it. So what's going on here? It's not the same number as the other ones, is it? What am I missing? They say 33 countries abstained, and they say 6 countries sided with Russia, so there's 7. So 7 plus 32 to me is 39. And here we have 39 abstained but also voted with Russia, including Iran, Kazakhstan, and China, and 7 countries opposed it. All right, now they put Russia here. Okay, now it makes sense here. But they didn't put Russia in the other one, so there was 6. So here it's whomever voted for, against, and who abstained. Abstention is the yellow, against is the red, in favor the green. So let's go with the abstention, because we know we have the against, we already know. So abstained Algeria, Angola, Armenia, Bangladesh, Bolivia, Burundi, Central African Republic, China, Congo, Cuba, another country that can have nuclear weapons on its territory, Russia I mean, El Salvador, Ethiopia, Gabon, Guinea, India, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Laos, probably, Mongolia, Mozambique, Namibia, that's Africa right there, Pakistan, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Togo, Tajikistan, Uganda, Uzbekistan, Vietnam, and Zimbabwe. Woohoo, my friends right there. All right, so they say here that the same thing, that they have to demand that the Russian Federation should completely unconditionally withdraw. And they obviously mention Zelensky here, and it says that at the same time the US General Assembly rejected 2 amendments proposed by Belarus and aimed to water down, end quote, the resolution. Now, the first condemned statements made by foreign leaders regarding the Minsk agreements. I think this is a point, those guys who said, well, we kind of signed those Minsk agreements, but it's just for the Minsk, for the Kiev to buy time to arm itself. And the other one, I think that's the first one here, it refers to that. And the other one called for an end to military assistance to Ukraine. So that means you keep arming the guys, and say, yes, we are. So, so that's those were not accepted. Well, 141, that's a good number. At least we know how many countries more or less are afraid of, from my perspective, okay? This is my interpretation of many of those countries who are just afraid to express themselves. I suspect that this vote was, like everyone knew who voted and what. It was not a secret vote. I suspect that if it would be a secret vote, there would be a different outcome. The Russians lobbied for that, for the reason of intimidation, but guess who fought against it? The United States of America. That was the last time they voted a resolution or something like this. And that reminds me of the communist times in Romania, when the meetings were, okay, who's for? Who's against? Oh, nobody. Okay. Unanimity again. Good job, comrades. That's how it was. So who's for? Who abstained? Who's against? Okay. Unanimity. That's how it was. So good job here. Anyway, but there are some countries who it seems like they have the courage at least to express themselves. That's my experience with these kind of situations when you really want to know who's voting and what. It's not to expose them, oh my God, those are bad. No, to retaliate. But anyway, this is the vote. Has just a symbolic vote. Definitely Russia will veto it in a Security Council, that's for sure. We'll see. We'll see what else happens over there. Probably nothing. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.